Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. Actually this is the first video of my husband and I deciding to actually do a YouTube channel, just because we kind of think that there's a lot of things and experiences that we've been through that maybe can be useful to someone, and also because we are truck driving currently. I'm actually in a truck, you guys can see. I'm in a slipper berth. So we're truck driving and we are trying to find a hobby while we are on the road, because we do go on the road for over a month and a half at once, sometimes 2 months and stuff like that. So the original idea started when we were into truck driving school, and we just wished that we knew someone, or that we could have kind of researched online what is very important when you are choosing a truck driving school. But again, this will not be only a trucking channel. There's a lot of stuff that we are interested in besides just this work, but basically this will be a hobby, and this is something that me and him just wanted to do for a very long time. So for this first moment, the reason why I'm doing this alone is because he's currently driving, and I actually wanted to push the idea and start with the first video, and then we're gonna like continue doing this whenever we have time, or whenever we have things that we would like to share. My name is Tamara and my husband's name is Ramel. We are actually together for a very long time. I came to United States. I'm originally Serbian European, and I came to United States in 2009 for the first time, but it was exchange student program for 3 months, and then I went back home. And once I went back home, I was like, I had to go back, because I just didn't experience enough in 3 months, and I didn't really get to see anything but New York City and Maryland at the time. So I decided to come in 2010, and I knew that I will extend my visa and actually stay a little longer so that I can explore. In that period of time, me and my husband met, and since then we kind of started chilling and spending time together, and since then we are together to this day. One of these days I can tell you a actual story, like we can have a story time on how everything happened, but for now this is just the intro. And we lived in New York City. He was born and raised in Brooklyn, and we lived in New York City doing different type of jobs, and I was fed up because I would find jobs and I would be very hardworking, and I would give my 150%, in every job that I do, and people would kind of like promote me to be a leader, or to a next step, but it would just not go anywhere on. I would just not be happy, and I realized that I just cannot work for anyone, really. I'm just a kind of I have to own my own business, because everything else seems very pointless. People are taking advantage of your knowledge or your hard work, and that's how I felt. I believe that there is really good people out there that you can maybe find somebody to work for, but at the end of the day, why not really build your own empire? You know what I mean? So there was a situation that happened, and I had a couple of friends from Chicago, and they were just telling me that I should go there. And a friend of mine was actually a truck driver, and he was telling me how he owned his truck, and how he was running, and I was just very interested in it. All these like running through states, seeing all different that one thing that I wanted to do for life is really to travel around and really see everything. So just that freedom of being on the road all the time was just amazing to me. But people would tell me, like, you don't see anything but the highway, and I didn't believe it, because to me, things that I am looking at while I'm driving do not match with other people while they're driving. So there's like a lot of things that I'm getting amazed by, even just seeing it from the highway, and going through big cities and stuff like that. So the idea started in probably like 2005, 2006, when I saw my friend, and I was like, I really want us to try. But my husband and I were going through some financial problems. New York City is very tough, and working in a city and paying bills in a city, it's like, again, we can discuss this further. Me and my husband had some like a little breakdown in our relationship, and we did like kind of split for a little bit. And in that period of time, I just decided that maybe it's the best for me to actually go to another state and see how it goes, because I had friends who were inviting me to another state. So these people were just friends. We grew up back home together. They were literally from my block or from my street, and we really knew well each other, like brothers and sisters. So I decided to actually go and try it. So I canceled my apartment. My sister stayed in New York City. It was my husband and I were living also with my sister because it was too expensive to actually provide for our own apartment. So I decided to go to Chicago, and a friend of mine actually bought an apartment, and he told me that I can stay in his apartment until I settle in. So it was kind of hard at the beginning because at the time I wasn't even driving the regular car. I had my license from my home country, but I never drove because in New York City I didn't really need a car, or I couldn't afford it. So we were just using public transportation, like trains usually, to get to work and stuff like that, because I was working in Manhattan usually. And they taught me how to drive, my friends. And I started driving, going to work. I was working at a friend of mine was a manager at a gas station, and I just didn't want to really look for jobs hard, because my idea was I wanna really learn how to drive, and I wanna go for truck driving, and everything in between is just for me to really pay bills. So I was really working a lot, like 6 to 7 days at this gas station and making overtime and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it really didn't turn out bad, and like I had free gas and stuff like that. And in the meantime, I was learning how to drive. And but I was uncertain, is this the thing that I want to do? Because right now I'm split from my husband, so we don't know our future, but we are still in touch. We are still talking, and we knew that we loved each other, but we were not really together at the time. So a couple of months has like passed, and my husband came to visit, and then he went away again. And all this meantime was just sorry, it's bouncing because I'm in a truck once again. So then the following year, that like I moved in 2006 end of the year, and in 2016, and then in 2017 around May, my husband wanted to come again and see me. And at that time we kind of discussed maybe it's the best idea to kind of divorce, because we are not together, and just because, you know, a lot of like taxes and stuff like that, like it could be because we live in two different states, maybe it's easier to handle any business if we are actually divorced. So we did divorce, and but he came to see me, and he never went back. So we basically rented a place and started living together. And after I didn't really want to work at that gas station any longer, and my sister, I worked in a bank for a very short time, and then my sister asked for me to work at the place where she works. Also, my sister moved. Again, this could be a story time with details. So I started working at this company. I mean, it's not really a company. It's a small business, and I was again working very hard, but they were very clear with me that this position is only this position, and it's very hard to go any further and take any better position in this particular job, because it's small business, it's a accounting business, and if I take this job, this is it, and there's no growth here. So me knowing who I am, I knew this will suffocate me within months. So all of this time I'm like working at these jobs. They are not paying bad, you know, but it's not what I wanted. So I reached out to this man that he was one of my clients, and I was asking him, is there any way that what would he recommend for us and how to start a trucking business and how to actually enter the trucking industry overall. And he just told me, oh, I can actually send you guys, just go to school, I'll pay for it, and then you're gonna drive for me, and then you can pay me back while you're driving for me. So that was like ideal for me. It was kind of like almost dream come true, but in the same time, he's like, do you really believe that somebody will do something that big for you? So we agreed. I had to go back home because I had emergency. So back home meaning like in Serbia, back in Europe, and I had to go visit my family, and I stayed there for a month. Once I came back, he really agreed. I did resign from my job at the time, and I decided to start school. So I thought that the school will last kind of short, but it did actually extend for a very, very long amount of weeks. Our school, again, this will be another story time, was not really a great school, and they kind of do not really do paperwork stuff, and you don't have to complete all of the hours. You are not really sure what you are really doing and how long you are staying, but it did extend to kind of almost like October, November, and December. Like we kind of started in a mid October, but we started driving, both of us, and that was the most important. Again, I will continue this story as a story time one of these days, what really happened and what really went down. The whole point is we did finish school, and we are truck driving right now, and this is actually the original reason why we really decided to start a YouTube channel, but just because we really want to give information to people who actually want to know information. By the way, we are in Chicago, and we finished our school in Chicago, and we also chose to drive for someone while we were in school, and we can also give information like how all of that went down. It's actually been what is now is like end of August. We are driving for this company since January, and we are still working for them. Yeah, we started actually school last October, and all our trucking kind of started and went from there. So again, this is just an introduction and really like a quick info about us. We live in Chicago. We recently actually moved to Chicago suburb very close to the airport, but we lived by the lake. It was kind of hectic, and we really didn't like the apartment, so we decided to move a little further. There was like times when we actually decided to kind of almost even quit the apartment so we can kind of save up and be on the road. But to be honest, it's very hard to be on the road for so long and don't have that the time off where you can just focus on yourself, really do things that you want for yourself. And this is one more reason why we really wanted to do this YouTube channel, because you are just literally riding like 70 hours a week, 14 hours a day, and you don't have no time or anything, and there's no push button, and you make so many excuses on why you can't do it or you cannot work out. We also gained weight on the truck, unfortunately. I was actually kind of overweight basically all my life, but now I feel like we are not even in control over how much you can gain just by eating normal but not moving and really driving. So another reason why we decided to start a YouTube channel is really to track what we do, what we eat, and actually force ourselves to even do workout videos where we can actually force ourselves to, wait a minute, how many times did we work out this week and stuff like that. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of fun stuff, a lot of kind of travel stuff, and there's a lot of things that we kind of want to do together. Again, in the next video, I will involve my husband and go from there. If you have any questions or you want to join our channel, I would really like you to join us and discuss anything that you have or ask us any questions, and let's go from there. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely night.